Sometimes in a experiment, you have a setup procedure, and sometimes you have a testing procedure. It really depends on the experiment. So today I'm going to show you both the setup and the testing procedure. So I'm going to make sure I'm in all caps and that I am writing set up procedure. I'll make sure I highlight it, bold, and underline. With any of the procedures that you write for a lab report, they need to be in a numbered list. So, making sure that I'm not bolded or underlined, I go not to the bullet list, but right to the left of it to the numbered list. And that will help give me a number 1 and number 2 as I'm writing my list and my procedure. So the first thing I'm going to do in my setup procedure is to gather the needed materials. Step 2 is going to be add 3 drops of red food coloring to the 200 milliliters of water because we need colored water for this experiment. Actually, as we gather the materials, that would also include, getting the actual water ready and gathering we need a digital scale, which isn't on our materials list, so we should add that. Okay. I must have skipped that as I was typing. Cut the celery stalk. And set up the workspace to be easily accessible, which means that I can easily get to all of my materials that I need for this experiment. I'm going to enter once and we see that there's a number 5, but I don't actually need a 5th step. So I'm going to click delete and delete again and enter. And that allows me to go to the next line without it being a numbered list. I'm going to make sure I'm capital again. And I'm going to write testing procedure. And I'm going to make sure I bold and underline it. Enter, numbered list. And actually before I number a list, I'm going to make sure I'm not bolded or underlined. And then I'm going to number list. And now we're going to start with the actual testing procedure. What am I doing to actually complete this experiment? You want to write your procedure as simple as possible. Remember the examples we did with making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or brushing your teeth or writing your name. It needs to be so simple that even I can understand it. Pretend I don't know anything. So make sure that you're writing it as clearly as possible. So here for step 1, we are going to place the plastic bag inside one of the plastic cups. Then for step 2, we are going to place the plastic bag / cup onto the digital scale. Record the mass on your chart or your data table. Step 3, I'm going to take off actually. Take the plastic bag cup off the scale. Pour 100 milliliters of colored water into the plastic bag. And then for step 4, I'm going to place the plastic bag cup water onto the digital scale. And I'm going to record the mass on your data table. Then for step 5, I am going to take the plastic bag cup water off the scale, and I'm going to place the celery stalk into the water. Make sure the bottom is submerged or completely covered with water. Then I'm going to seal the plastic bag. After I seal the plastic bag, I'm going to place the plastic bag cup, water, celery onto the digital scale, and I'm going to record the mass on the data table. After I do that, I'm going to place the plastic bag, cup, water, and celery into a warm location. Now, instead of writing all of those steps again, I can just say repeat steps 1 through 7 again. And then for step 10, place this second plastic bag, cup, water, celery into a cool location. And there we go. There's our testing procedure. It is simple and easy enough. You could also always make every sentence its own step. That does make it longer, but for some people it makes it a little bit easier as well. Okay? The next thing we're going to discuss in one of our next videos is our scientific diagram and our data.